Guna Caves Incident, 20 September 2025. A tourist from Bengaluru entered as a casual explorer on a day trip with her spouse. She had no prior cave experience. Her goal was a short sightseeing hike through the popular tourist site, once known as Devil's Kitchen, amid the misty Shola forests of the Western Ghats. She carried a handbag, comfortable shoes, and a water bottle for the trek. Her spouse, also casual with no experience, joined to support the outing, carrying a phone for photos and snacks for the journey. They aimed for a quick venture into the cave's mouth, drawn by its eerie reputation near Pillar Rocks at 7,200 feet elevation. The group parked near the trailhead by late morning, after a winding drive through pine groves from Kodaikanal town, 8 kilometers away. Fog clung thick to the pine-covered slopes, veiling the horizon. The cave entrance yawned wide between massive boulders, framed by wet rocks, hanging vines, and twisted shola tree roots. Cool mist sprayed from within, carrying a chill from the deep crevices. They stepped past a faded warning sign about wildlife and slippery paths. Birds called faintly from the canopy outside. The air smelled of damp earth and pine needles. Local legends whispered of ancient Pandava shelters here, adding quiet intrigue to their steps. Iron grills blocked deeper chambers for safety, but the outer ledges tempted casual glances. The pair descended the initial slope into dim light, boots scraping on loose gravel. Water dripped from stalactites, echoing softly in the vast chamber. Walls closed in, slick with moisture from recent rains. Temperature dropped 10 degrees, raising goosebumps under light jackets. They shuffled through a wide chamber, feet sliding on wet gravel scattered with fallen leaves. Narrower passages branched left, barred by shadows and mist. The tourist gripped her handbag tight against her side. Her spouse shone a phone light ahead, its beam cutting frail paths through the haze. Shadows danced on jagged formations and gnarled roots overhead. After 15 minutes, they paused in a low-ceilinged room where bats fluttered high above, wings whispering. The air grew thicker, musty with bat guano and earth. A faint rustle echoed from deeper cracks in the rock. They pressed on just a few steps, unaware of eyes watching from the dark ledges above. The cave's natural crevices, formed by ancient erosion, hid unseen movement. Distant echoes mimicked their breaths. The attack struck without warning. A monkey lunged from a shadowed ledge. It targeted the handbag in her grip. Claws raked her hand. Teeth sank into flesh. Blood welled fast. She screamed. The bag tore free. The monkey retreated into a crevice, screeching. Pain shot up her arm. Her hand swelled, throbbing. Panic surged. Muscles locked in shock. Her spouse grabbed her wrist. Dirt smeared the wound. The monkey circled back, baring fangs. Heartbeats pounded in her ears. Blood dripped to the cave floor. She staggered against the wall. Flesh tore deeper with each jerk. "Run!" she gasped. The beast dropped the bag, eyes wild. Adrenaline flooded. They bolted toward light. Claws scraped rock nearby. Her vision narrowed. Wet stone slipped underfoot. Her spouse yanked her arm, pulling free from the grip. They scrambled over rocks, breaths ragged. The monkey pursued, chattering through the mist. After 20 meters of frantic climb, it broke off into side fissures. They burst into daylight by early afternoon, lungs burning. Her spouse dialed emergency services immediately. Locals from nearby trails arrived with a cloth tourniquet and fresh water. Pressure stemmed the bleeding as they guided her up the path. Forest rangers cleared the foggy trail with sticks. An ambulance reached the trailhead in 30 minutes, horns cutting the quiet hills. She clutched her mangled hand in the vehicle. Pain blurred vision with every jolt. At Kodaikanal Hospital, doctors cleaned deep punctures under bright lights. Stitches closed, the gashes in layers. Antibiotics fought infection from the dirty bite. Rabies shots followed over 3 days, with wound checks. She survived with permanent scars and physical therapy for grip strength. Wildlife in caves demands caution. Neanderthal cave bear ambush. 15,000 BCE. Concharine's cave, Italian Dolomites. A Neanderthal hunter led the ritual hunt to harvest a bear for winter meat and tool-making materials. Experienced in cave pursuits, he carried a sharpened spear and a stone knife. His companion, a younger scout, followed as support, equally experienced in the harsh mountain environment. Their goal was to seek out hibernation dens where bears, predictable in their winter slumber, could be taken as prey. The cave sat high in the snowy peaks of the Dolomites. Its entrance rhymed with ice, while biting wind howled above. They tracked fresh paw prints through snow and slush, reaching the cavern's mouth just as dusk fell. Massive boulders framed the cave's opening, marked by deep fang scratches marring the outer walls. Within, low, guttural growls rumbled faintly, hinting at the slumbering giants beyond. Crawling through frigid tunnels, cold bit into exposed skin. Water had frozen in shallow puddles, causing boots to slip on slick surfaces. Narrow squeezes forced shoulders to scrape jagged stone. Stalagmites loomed like giant teeth, threatening to trap the unwary. After nearly 200 paces, the hunters entered a vast chamber thick with the musk of bear, fur, and damp earth. Matted fur littered the floor, while hibernating forms curled against the walls, motionless and enormous. The elder signaled to halt. Frost crunched underfoot. A soft snuffle shattered the tense silence. Spear tips braced. They edged closer toward shadowed shapes. One bear stirred, eyes yellow and glinting like embers in the gloom. Suddenly, chaos erupted. The bear awoke mid-lunge, claws slashing deep across the elder's chest. He thrust his spear with all his might, but the massive creature's roar shattered the air. Fangs clamped down on his arm, crushing bone with a sickening crack. Blood sprayed the rocky walls. Sharp pain exploded through his body. He stabbed desperately again as the scout hurled a stone knife toward the bear's side. Bright red fur matted with blood. The bear reared, swiping aggressively at empty air. The elder stumbled backward, gasping with a ragged throat and weakening limbs. The scout, seizing the moment, drove his spear into the bear's flank, spilling guts. After a brutal 10 minutes, the beast slumped, lifeless. Severely wounded, the elder's vision blurred, muscles seized. Darkness crept over his fading consciousness. The scout bandaged wounds with animal hides, limping heavily to haul the carcass alone under the cold dawn light. The valuable meat and bones became vital tools for their tribe's survival. The elder lay sealed within the cave, a solemn sacrifice. The tribe mourned with fire rituals, observing silence and respect for the powerful predator that had claimed their leader. No further hunts took place that season. The ambush, a stark reminder that even the practiced can fall prey to the wild's merciless hand. Predators claim even the prepared, unknown predator cave assault. 11 February 2025. The livestock guardian was a seasoned farmhand responsible for protecting local livestock. Experienced in night watches, his role was to check on the animals after repeated reports of strange noises after dusk. With a flashlight in one hand and a herding stick in the other, he patrolled the farmland close to the barnyard. His trusted companion was a trained guardian dog, highly skilled in detecting threats both known and unknown. Their primary task was to safeguard the flock of sheep from predators like coyotes and stray dogs. The cave mouth, located only 50 yards from the sheep pens, loomed ominously with weeds choking its rim. Moonlight cast ghostly glows across the landscape, shadows stretching long in the cold air. By late evening, the duo approached with measured steps, crunching dry gravel beneath their boots. From a distance, eerie howls echoed. The dog stiffened, hackles rising. Together, they circled the dark cave entrance with caution, the farmhand's flashlight piercing the thick darkness. The cold, damp air that wafted from the cave carried an unsettling chill, making the hairs on the farmhand's neck stand alert. A narrow fissure dropped sharply into the earth. Beneath their feet, mud squelched quietly with each step. The cave walls, slick with dripping water, reflected the faint beam of the flashlight. The dog sniffed cautiously, moving further in. Suddenly, growls rose from the shadows below. They stopped at a ledge that revealed nothing but blackness. Then, claws scraped the stone, a sinister sound that sent a jolt through their bones. After 10 tense minutes, the farmhand peered downward. Yellow eyes flashed back, cold and wild. The cave pulsed with a silent menace. Without warning, the predator exploded upward, jaws clamping down hard on the guardian dog's throat. The dog fought fiercely, shaking violently as fur flew in the struggle. Blood arced through the air. The dog yelped in pain, thrashing as sharp claws raked its flank. The farmhand swung his herding stick with desperate strength. But the beast, driven by savage instinct, dragged the dog into the shadowed cave depths. Snaps of bones and tearing flesh echoed ominously. The dog weakened quickly, its resistance fading fast. The farmhand shone his flashlight into the abyss, catching a glimpse of an unknown creature snarling with glowing eyes. His heart pounded wildly as fear clawed at his chest. Out of options, he retreated, yelling to scare the beast away. Silence swallowed the cave after 5 agonizing minutes. By midnight, the farmhand had rallied neighbors to the scene. Together, they sealed the cave with heavy rocks, determined to block the predator's escape. They set traps along the barnyard's perimeter, reinforcing fences and gates. Days later, the remains of the dog were found nearby, a somber testament to the deadly encounter. Despite efforts, no predator was conclusively identified. The mysterious intensity of the uncharted cave harbored dangers unseen by the farming community. Vigilance remained high as the farm reinforced defenses, wary of what else might dwell in the shadows beyond. The incident revealed the raw and unpredictable nature of caves, hidden shelters for creatures unknown, testing even the most trusted guardians. The farmhand carried new respect for the silent threats lurking close to home, a warning etched in cold stone and fading paw prints. The farm remembered the quiet bravery of the dog, its sacrifice a grim lesson in the limits of protection when shadows move too swift and dark. Caves hide unseen dangers, quietly waiting to strike.